Mr. Speaker, I rise today in strong support of SJ Resolution 22, the resolution to disapproval of the waters of the United States. The ranking member pointed out that the Bush rule creates tremendous uncertainty. He's correct. He's absolutely correct, and we need to make sure we change it. But this rule that the President has put forward has 32 states that have filed lawsuits against it. 32 states have said, no, this doesn't work. And for decades, the federal regulators worked as partners with the states to significantly improve water quality across this country. Those situations that the ranking member talked about that happened 40 and 50 years ago aren't happening today. The states have worked very closely with the federal government to make sure that we have clean water, that we're protecting that precious resource we have. Now, I will say right up front, because I know someone's going to call me out on it, the governor of Pennsylvania did not file a lawsuit. Well, he's a liberal Democrat who has an extreme environmental agenda. He doesn't really care about the farmers of Pennsylvania, nor does he care about the building industry in Pennsylvania. This governor is wrong on this issue, and again, 32 states have said no to this rule. The federal government shouldn't be regulating every drop of water. And again, Pennsylvania, like every other state, is supposed to bear primary responsibility for regulating the waters within its own borders. But that will change when the EPA and the Corps of Engineers blatantly ignore Pennsylvania and the other 49 states the limits of the federal jurisdictions published in this rule. And the gentleman knows full well, across this country, there are protests going on in the state of the federal government, again, has an overreach, keeps pushing out there, and this rule will be the same thing. The federal government will push out and reach out and do things that weren't intended to be in the law. Just about every wet area in the country is open to federal regulation under this rule. Jobs will be threatened. The rights of landowners and local governments will be trampled. And that's the frustration out there in America today. The federal government keeps pushing, and doing things that really don't have a significant impact, but on the environment or other areas of the economy or other areas of their jurisdiction, and they cause great harm to individuals out there. So that's why there's tremendous frustration in this country today. There are clear problems with this rule. Again, the administration basically concocted this proposal in a vacuum. Pennsylvania and the other states were asked of this rule, and as I said, 32 states have filed suit against it. That's significant. That's almost two-thirds of the states, three-quarters of the states that have said no to this rule. That's a prime example, again, of why Americans are sick and tired of this. Every day I hear from farmers, home builders, small businesses, and others in my district, and some have told me, some farmers have said they won't be able to pass on their family farm because of the cost associated with this power grab. And as I said, I have no doubt that's what's going to happen. This will continue to expand if we don't stop it here today and send a strong message to the President to take this rule back, as the ranking member, or excuse me, this subcommittee chairman said, take this rule back. Let's start over. Let's include the states in the development of this rulemaking. The EPA and the Corps need to listen to the states as the partners that they've done for many, many years. And just last night, the President of the United States stood in this House floor and talked about the need for eliminating rules that are on the books. Well, how about let's not put rules on the books? They're going to cause great harm and great damage to many sectors of the economy, to many American people. This is a time when the President can show us that those words last night weren't hollow, that they were meaningful, that he wanted to reach across the aisle. Here's a chance. There were a number of senators on the other side of the aisle that voted for this. The last couple of times we've passed WOTUS bills here in the House, we've got bipartisan support. Here's an opportunity for us to work together. Again, last night, we listened to the President. We heard him say some words, some words good. But again, if they're not willing to listen to the Congress on this issue, the first order of business, the very first order of business after he stood there last night and talked about, as I said, the need to reduce rules, as I said, how about let's not put a rule in place that's going to cause great harm to this country? The Congressional Review Act is put in place for just this very purpose. This is an opportunity for us to all join and do exactly what the ranking member has asked for, certainty in the rule. Reject President Bush's rulemaking. Let's put a rule in place that the states can support and that the American people can support. So I urge all members to support SJ Resolution 22. With that, I yield back.
Gentlemen.